movie starts as we see a tribe traveling in the desert, where we see Sira among them. After traveling some good distance, a man named Mustafa asks the chief if they aren't going to take a break. The chief says, "We're almost there, just pull yourself together." Mustafa tells the chief that the kids are tired too, and the chief agrees to take a rest. Here we see the tribe women setting things for their stay while kids play in the desert sand. The leader starts calling the adhan for namaz. Everyone gets ready to pray and Mustafa leads the prayer. At night, Sira helps in slaughtering a goat while Mustafa interrupts her to make her help her mother in cooking, and he tells her to cover her head as well. After this, we see Sira having fun with her friends and dancing. Later, we see Mustafa and the chief talking about Sira's marriage. Here, we get to know that this journey is for Sira's marriage with a Christian boy. The debate ends with the chief shutting Mustafa down for good and saying he trusts his daughter, Sira. We then see Sira celebrating with other women. The girl tells Sira ways to seduce her husband and jokes about it. Next morning, as they prepare to embark on their journey, some vehicles arrived there, with armed men driving them. As Mustafa stepped forward to talk to them, the chief from the unit asked for the tribe's head. Mustafa called him out and the unit started shooting at the tribe's people. Everyone was being shot mercilessly. Now, while Sira cries loud over her father's dead body, the unit chief slaps Sira and takes her away while Sira keeps screaming for help. Sira's mother was left alive because she fainted during the attack. The unit chief takes Sira somewhere in the lonely desert where he abuses her and spits on her before leaving her stranded. Sira gets up and starts wandering off in the desert with food and water. Sira's mother reaches the destination of the tribe, where Sira's future husband watches her and smiles. When he got to know about the situation, he fell on his knees. Sira somehow reaches the terrorists' camp. At night, Sira sneaks out and consumes leftovers of the terrorists. She also drinks water from a nearby container. The next day, Sira uses sand for wudu and then offers namaz. This shows her faith in her religion. At night, she sneaks back into the camp and hears some men talking about Mustafa. Here, we understand that Mustafa was a part of the terrorist group and he had his own mission with Sira's tribe. Sira leaves to not get caught. Next day, we see some women being smuggled to the camp to be abused. Sira watches this all. Sira's lover went to look for her. Sira prepares food for herself so she doesn't die of starvation. At night, she steals a bag from a car and then escapes narrowly after a captive girl sees her. Later, the unit chief abuses the captive girl. Afterwards, Sira and the lady make contact with each other. Early morning, Mustafa notices his bag is gone from the car. The unit leader becomes suspicious. Sira opens the bag and finds gold and other useful things. At night, when Sira is about to be caught, the captive girl helps Sira. We see Sira eating well like an animal. Meanwhile, other captive girls look at her curiously. The girls ask Sira where she came from and if she's the one who stole the bag. Then they tell Kami that if terrorists find out about this, they'll kill them all. Kami somehow manages the situation. Sira blends in with them and all of them decide to work on an escape plan. Sira asks for Mustafa's car keys and tells them to show some courage. Now, we see Sira carefully observing the whole unit and their routine so Sira and the other 9 girls could escape. They find out that the keys are always with Mustafa and another guy. Sira tells Kami to do it because the unit chief likes her a lot and it'll be easy for her. She tells them that Yoro has left, so Mustafa is alone. A girl tells Sira to be careful as she's pregnant, but Sira denies it. Kami then tries to go to the men's tent for Mustafa, but is declined for it. Kami says Mustafa called her, so the supervisor girl goes to Mustafa asking about the situation. Mustafa denies the claim and asks if there's any girl who wants to see him. The supervisor says yes, so Mustafa lets Kami enter the tent. Mustafa asks her what's her problem. Kami starts to undress herself, but Mustafa stops her. However, Kami doesn't listen and continues. Kami tries to touch him but gets pushed back. At that moment, Kami quickly stole the keys. When she tries to leave, Mustafa stops her. Kami is very nervous. Mustafa starts suspecting Kami and tells her to raise her hands. The keys fell down from Kami's armpits, so Mustafa starts beating her. Kami bends down. He drags Kami out of the tent. While holding a gun in his hand, he orders to bring all the girls outside. An old man asks Mustafa what the girl had done, and Mustafa tells him she tried to steal the car keys from him. Meanwhile, Sira had already left the camp and was watching the whole scene with binoculars from a distance. All the girls are brought out while the old man tells Mustafa that if he kills this girl, Yoro will be very angry because he likes her so much. He says, "Let Yoro come and manage this himself." So, Mustafa ties her to a tree with a rope. After several months have passed, we see Sira utterly exhausted and her pregnancy has grown very large. Yet, in her heart, she carries unbearable pain because this is what she never wanted. Here, we see the elder, who is like a mentor to these bandits, walking through the desert. When he reaches a certain spot, he stops and takes out his binoculars to check for safety. But he spots Sira. The elder is utterly shocked. Meanwhile, Mustafa asks, "How's it going, elder? Is everything okay?" The elder says yes. This elder is essentially Sira's protector, keeping the camp inhabitants completely unaware that someone secretly lives nearby. On the other side, we see her fiancé, Sidi, watching Yoro closely after Yoro had returned to his village where his family is. At night, Sidi decides to go all the way to Yoro's house. When he arrives, we see Yoro asking Sidi what's wrong. Sidi tells him that he heard Yoro is recruiting young men. Then Yoro asks him, why are they recruiting? Sidi says it's to protect Islam. Yoro asks his name and his religion, on which Sidi admits he used to be a Christian, but he's reverting to Islam now. Then Yoro instructs Sidi to find 4 other boys to get recruited. Sidi thanks him and leaves. The next morning, we see Sidi following Yoro's car on his motorbike. When Yoro arrives at the camp, he is surprised to find the girl he loved so much tied to a tree, naked like an animal. The supervisor of the girls tells him she tried to steal the car keys. Yoro takes her inside and starts rubbing pepper on her wounds. After a few hours, we see Mustafa entering Yoro's place. Yoro tells Mustafa about Sidi. Surprised, Mustafa confirms, saying he's the same fiancé of the girl who was kidnapped, but Yoro shows no concern. Then we see Sidi on his motorbike, tracking tire marks from Yoro's car. The motorbike runs out of fuel. At night, Sira sees a torch. Suddenly, she is shocked. It's the elder from the terrorist camp. He asks Sira who she is, and Sira asks him if he's going to kill her. The elder replies, "You would have been dead long ago if I wanted to." The elder asks her situation. Sira explains she is here just to survive because she gets food and water. The elder warns her and leaves. At dawn, Sira steps out. She finds food scraps strategically placed. She eats and stores water in a container for later use. Days pass. We see Sidi exhausted, still looking for Sira. Sidi reaches a village. An elder asks him, "Who are you?" Sidi collapses in front of him. Sira is near her delivery time. She lies down in pain with no one to help her. The labor begins and she rushes into the cave, taking a knife to assist herself. Sira fights bravely and ultimately delivers safely, with God's help. At night, the elder who always helps her comes in. Seeing she has delivered, he enters the cave. Sira explains everything she's been through. The elder encourages her. Next, we see him training the youths. Mustafa follows, observing. At night, the elder goes to Sira again. He asks Sira, "Do you know how to use a gun?" Sira takes it and inspects it. The elder asks, and Sira remains silent. He teaches her a 2-minute crash course. Sira understands perfectly. Now, Sira is given her mission. She is to place explosives in specific locations. Sira asks where the elder will be. He tells her he'll be at the mountains. Sira secretly entered the camp. She placed the bombs in the locations she had been told, then carefully made her way to where the captured women were being held. As she was about to leave, Kami told her, "Your lover is looking for you, and Yoro has sent someone to kill him." This news caused deep pain. In the morning, she got ready for the mission. She picked up an object with wires all over it. It looked like a bomb, and placed it inside a box where her child was lying. Then we see Sira struggling with a very heavy box while also carrying a firearm. She lowers the box and her weapon, then takes out a pair of binoculars. Through them, we see a group preparing to head to the place where the elder had told her that some soldiers would be going to set up another camp. After the soldiers leave, we see Sira moving with extreme caution as the group is heading east through the desert to establish another camp. Suddenly, the front vehicle gets a flat tire. They decide to stop and get out to inspect it. But an armed force appears and surrounds them. Everyone raises their hands and surrenders. Back at the camp, Mustafa is coming out of a tent, but suddenly he senses danger. After grabbing a weapon, he starts checking the camp's security. When he reaches the female supervisor, he finds her stabbed in the neck. He realizes the camp is no longer safe. When he reaches the area where the girls were camped, they are all gone. He runs back to his companions, shouting, "Wake up! The brides are gone!" As soon as Yoro hears this, he jumps up. Sira is lining up another target. Meanwhile, her baby is crying loudly. Yoro looks down and notices a box with a note on it. Written on it are words in French which mean, "I am alive." The baby continues crying loudly, and both Mustafa and Yoro hear the sound. Mustafa decides not to waste time and runs off while Yoro goes inside to grab his weapon. The moment Yoro steps back outside and stands near the box, Sira opens fire, triggering a massive explosion. Many people die. The entire camp is destroyed. Mustafa is running for his life but gets shot down by a man. Yoro is still alive and trying desperately to find a safe place. Wild birds attack him, swarming and tearing at him. The women directed by Sira see a large convoy of vehicles and panic. But to their surprise, the leader of the convoy is Elder Karimu himself. Soon, the girl's vehicle drives off into the desert while the rest of the convoy continues its journey back to Sira. She comes down from the hill and enters the destroyed camp. She takes the car keys to escape and she hears someone shouting. She quickly steps out and sees a bearded man approaching. She fires the first shot and misses. Sira realizes this is Sidi. This is the man she was once expected to marry. Sira collapses to the ground in tears as she and her lover are back together.